All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the free daily coaching call. Not sure who can see me or hear me. Um, Let me know if you can see and hear me. Come over onto my Facebook page and let me know that you can see and hear me. And um, and let me know that you're there. So I changed the link. Um, And let's see. Hopefully, some people will be able to jump over here. All right, there's some people. There's Kevin and Pauline jumped over. Awesome, awesome. Let me go ahead and give them the link to the YouTube link as well. Give me 1 second there. I'm gonna try to copy the YouTube. How you doing, Kevin?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, I can hear and see you, but I don't know that webinar's on air. It was just
No, webinars on air isn't working.
Huh?
The webinars on air isn't working. That's why I started this new Hangout.
Yeah.
There's something wrong this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and post this YouTube link as well, and we'll see whoever gets it gets it, and if they get it, awesome, and if they don't, well, bummer, bummer, bummer.
Well, hey, Bart, this is Felicia. I was just checking to see if it was working, but it looks like we've got a workaround.
This part is working. It's just I'm just doing a regular Hangout. Just something with webinars on air is not wanting to connect through. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, it's really weird that it was showing, but it was such a delay that people were like, "Oh, we can hear you, we can hear you," but it was so far. Like that was like 10 minutes ago or something when I did that.
Oh, now we're getting this weird background noise too. All right, cool. I gotta run. Sorry.
Thank you.
Y'all have fun today.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
So guys, welcome to the freedailycoaching.com call. I guess we're going to just do a little freestyle this morning because people are probably just watching from Google Plus. Maybe you're watching on YouTube now, or maybe you're watching the replay because of tech issues this morning and you weren't able to get on. So it's really kind of like me and Kevin just hanging out, doing a little one-on-one. Two dudes hanging out, doing a little one-on-one mastermind, and everyone else gets to peek in. So if you're watching this, you get to see a little behind the scenes with me and Kevin. Normally on a Thursday, we do a big industry leader interview. And over the last few days, if you've been paying attention, if you've been plugged into what I'm doing and what some of the people that I'm working with are doing, we've gotten involved in promoting the Guru community. You can see it behind me on the water bottle there. And so today, I was going to have an interview on this morning because someone else is launching a video program, and we actually postponed it. We moved it to next Thursday to give us a little bit of time. And good thing that we did because of funky tech issues. So because of that, we're just slow here, and I'm just Kevin. Maybe put some headphones in, Kevin, because I'm getting massive echo back, feeding right back myself the whole time I'm talking. Go ahead.
They're not here.
I'm gonna put a little low, patty. And over here. So I just wanted to give people a quick message and say, hey, over here. And we'll see what happens. And let me see. I just need to give me just 1 second, guys. We're not kicked up, I know. I'm just trying to give everything. Okay, well, you found it. It's weird because I don't know why I didn't go back and back over here. So I'm just tagging some people so they can get over here. All right, so let me tag them. Let me see if we got anyone else comes over or any more viewers. So there's a couple other people viewing in this morning. So guys, we're a little behind schedule this morning, and the main reason that we're behind is because we have had a tech issues with the webinars on air and trying to get the with us. So no big deal. There's always going to be some tech challenges and things going on in the business that are going to stand in the way. Sometimes you just have to work with it. I'm going to go ahead and put my earbuds in here. And so sometimes awesome that going on here. Yeah, let me go ahead. There, that should take care of the mute. I went ahead and muted Kevin and Pauline until they can get some headphones. It's just reverbing back off of their speaker. So, good morning to everyone. I'm sorry about the delay. So what happened is something going on with Google Plus or webinars on air. There's something going on. So no big deal. What we're going to talk about today is just a few housekeeping issues and a few fun little things going on. As most of you know, we've been promoting the Guru Code over the last few days, or myself, I have, and been working with some other marketers to do the same. And the reason is because it's a program. Well, the reason is because I've had tremendous success working with Diane and Larry Hockman. Second of all, why wouldn't I want to promote something that has worked so well for me to the people that are about me, the people that are working around and in proximity with me? So that's what we have been doing over the last few days. Let me go ahead and plug my laptop in here, guys, so I don't disappear on you. Boop. So, been super busy over the last few days. Looking forward to working with a bunch of people in a new group, in some new environments, some new people, some new circles to run with. So super excited. Excited to be able to reach out and meet some new people, but really excited for those that have already been plugging in lately, that are really going for it, that have really been plugged in and taking action. I'm excited for those people because it's taking that next step. It's taking that step that's going to push you over the edge, that's going to push you into success. And this morning what I wanted to talk about, and normally we do a guest interview on Thursdays, so if you're here today and you're like, hey, where's the guest interview? We actually moved that to next Thursday, and good thing that I moved that this morning. My guest had some things come up, and it's a good thing that we pushed that back because of the technical issues we had. So while we're having a few technical issues this morning, I thought what a great time to bring up the fact that there could be technical issues. 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, I might have gotten really frustrated, maybe really started to get upset and worried and stressed out about the fact that that things weren't going as planned this morning. In today's outlook, in 6 months in the future, taking a step forward now and having this experience, I realize that it's really not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal when there's a technical hiccup, when there's a little miscue here or there. The reality is that no one really cares. Was it a little bit more difficult to get onto the Hangout today? Absolutely. But the Hangout is still happening. The call will still go on. Something will still occur, right? Something will still occur every single day. On Monday through Friday, we do it. We make it happen. So even if we have to come back and do it, we're still going to make it happen. So really excited to see you all here. And the fact that you came, even though there was a challenge. The fact that you looked for it, that you reached out and you made it here is a big deal. So congratulations on making it over here. What can we talk about in regards to building our business, other than just, hey, sometimes there's challenges and that we can overcome them? One of the things that we can talk about this morning is challenges. And what does that look like for you? What is the challenge that you're having today? You see, this morning I had a challenge. The challenge was, how can I make my free daily coaching call occur? Because something isn't working. There's a technical aspect that's not happening. How can no worries, Kevin. I just muted you, so then there's no feedback. There's no echo back. So how can we look at our challenges and overcome them? Well, do you have this happen ever? Do you ever have a challenge and then you start working on it a little bit, or you start to address the challenge and then it becomes quote unquote too difficult, and you set it aside and you say, well, I'll come back to that, and then you go off and you do some other stuff? Ask yourself that question. Yes, absolutely. Now let me ask you another question. Does that one item that you pushed off, that you didn't do, that was challenging, that you pushed off and you went and did some other things, does that thing ever really get done? Or does did you like touch on it a little bit and then it gets pushed to the back because it's a challenge? And then you do a little bit and then it pushes back to the challenge, and it falls by the wayside, and then pretty soon you're looking around and you're frustrated. You're upset, you're angry, you're frustrated because you're not getting results. You're not getting the results that people told you that you would get. You're not getting the results that you desired. You're not getting what it is that you wanted out of the whole deal. Has that occurred? And if you can say yes, and just be honest, I think I can say yes to that, and if I can say yes, I've done that, yes, I do that, yes, that has happened to me, but I can show you a way to step through that. Then, if you can admit that to yourself, that's the first part. That's the first part of the lesson this morning, is being able to recognize, hey, I'm doing things that are sabotaging myself. Think about it like that. Think about that as like a self-sabotaging act. You see, you get this challenge and you're like, oh, there's this challenging thing right here. But I started it. It's like starting, imagine this. Imagine if I told you had to come over to Goat Village and we're going to build a new fence. We had to dig holes in the ground for the fence. Now, let's just say it was winter, and so the ground was frozen, it was hard. So when you grabbed the shovel, okay, you went to go dig into the earth, and it was hard. And you took like one scoop, not even a full shovel, just a little tiny bit, and you threw that off, right? You got that little bit of dirt out, and you threw it over, and there's just a little handful of dirt that you got. Maybe you do 2 or 3 more, and it's just so hard, and your hands hurt because you don't usually use the shovel, so you're already starting to blister up. Now, you know in the back of your mind that when you dig these holes, you're going to put in these posts, and you're going to be able to build an amazing fence. And you actually need the fence. You need the fence to keep the neighbors out of your backyard, because they just got some dogs, and maybe you've got chickens. Or maybe you've got small kids, and they got a big, massive dog that's not too friendly. Doesn't matter. You fill in the blanks here. The fence is required, and you know that those holes need to be dug so that you can build that fence. But on that first day, when you get those 3 or 4 little shovel scoops out and your hands are starting to blister, and you take that and you take the shovel and you set it over off to the side and you stop digging the holes for the posts, okay? Well, then what do? Well, then you go to Home Depot and you look at the different pickets that you're going to use, and you look and you're like, wow, they got the 6-inch wide pickets, they got the 4-inch pickets, they've got straight cut at the top and the bottom, or they got the ones at the top that have kind of a little tapered edge, a beveled edge. So then you decide which ones of those you're going to get. Maybe you even get them, you bring them home, maybe you Thompson's water seal them, maybe you stain them, maybe you paint them, right? So now you got the pickets,
And then you go out back and you look at that hole and you poke the shovel at the ground a couple times and you're like, well, still hard. Still hard, right? The ground's still hard. So you go back and you're like, oh, you know what I need? I probably should get a nail gun so that I can nail up the pickets. So you go back to Home Depot and you get the nail gun, right? And you're all excited, and then you're like, oh man, I forgot I need nails. I'm going to need the nails, the actual nails that go into the nail gun. So you get back in the car and you go back to your Lowe's or your Home Depot or your Ace or wherever you go, right? And you go and you get a box of nails for the nail gun. So now you're like, all right, I got my pickets, they're stained, they're ready, I got the nail gun, I got nails, I'm ready to rock this thing, right? But still, the posts haven't been sunk because the holes haven't been dug, right? And then you realize, you go out in the back and you test the ground again, and you get your foot on it, it's still kind of hard. The ground's still hard. So you take that one shovel out and you're like, you know what, that's really hard. But guess what? I don't even have the posts. I got all my pickets and all that, but I got to go get the posts. So then off you go again. Boop! There you go. You're traveling again. And now you're off to get your 4x4 posts or whatever type of fencing the main hardware is, right? So now you've got your posts, you got your pickets, and they're stained or treated. You got your nail gun, you got your nails. So you're going to go out and you've decided, all right, dude, I got everything. I don't need anything else. I've got it all. I've got all the things required, right? I'm going to go out and make this happen. You go out and you take three big old, I mean, it takes you a while and your hands are hurting again and you're like, wow, that was hard, and you're sweating. You get like three scoops and you're down about this far. You got about 3 or 4 inches down into the ground in a good-sized hole, right? Good-sized circumference hole, but only like 3 or 4 inches deep. And you're sweating, you're like, whew. And then you realize, you know what? I don't have an air compressor. So, boop, you set the shovel down and off you go and you go get the air compressor because you need an air compressor for your new nail gun, right? And then when you're at the store, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to need a hose. I'm going to need a good-sized hose because I'm going to be running around the backyard nailing up this fence. I'm going to need that hose. You're getting the point? Absolutely. Right? So you come back. But guess what? None of this project ever happens. The fence never gets built until those holes are dug. And guess what? It wasn't because it was winter. The ground is always hard. Why? Well, in this example, the ground is just hard. It's full of rocks and dirt, and it's dry, and there hasn't been a lot of moisture, so it's not soft. Been dried and caked on, and it's buried in that, right? The ground is just solid. So guess what? You might have to get out some other tools. You might not want to use that square nose shovel. You might need to get a round nose shovel. You might need a big old digging bar. Maybe you go and you grab a pick and you start picking at that ground, right? But the point is, you got to dig the hole. The hole has to be dug. Once the hole's dug, you can go to town. But all the holes have to be dug. You can't just dig this one hole for one post and build an entire fence. All those footings have to be dug. Right? All of the footings have to be dug. Your house wasn't built on half of a foundation. It was built on the entire foundation. And that's what those holes are. That's what those footings are. That's what those holes that we're talking about digging, that's what the digging is. The digging is the hard work in the beginning. That's required. It's not an option. It's not negotiable. There are certain things that are required to do for you to be able to build your business. It looks different for everyone, depending on what your model is. Depends on how you're going out and marketing. Regardless of what method you're using, whether you're blogging, whether you're using social media, whether you're using videos or webinars, or you're doing search engine optimization, you're doing article marketing, whatever it is that you are doing, if you don't have the fundamental skills in place, the daily steps, the daily set of action steps that you're required to take to get results, if you're not following a mentor, if you're not on a specific plan, how are you going to get those holes dug? Are you going to keep on setting the shovel off to the side? Are you going to keep on coming back to it? Or are you going to get into it? Are you going to get into the nitty-gritty? Are you going to do it and make it happen? Even though it might take some time, even though it might not yield results in the beginning, even though it might make you sweat, is it worth it to you? That's the question. Is it worth it to you? Not to me, not if you want to impress Jack or if you want to impress Kevin or Patty or Karen or Felicia or Nancy or Phil or Clive or Tom or Christina or geez, anyone, Jackie, anyone. That's not what it's about. It's about you. Are you willing to go for it? Are you willing to dig the holes? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, if you can really ask yourself that question and the answer is yes, then there's one more question you need to ask yourself. Do you have a plan? Let me say that again. Do you have a plan? If you don't, if you're failing to plan, right? If you're failing to plan, then you're basically planning to fail. And I know there's some famous person that said that, so I'm regurgitating it, but that's really what you're doing. If you don't have a plan, then what are you doing? You're just freelancing? How are you freelancing at something that you don't know how to do? It's like saying I'm going to go into the boxing ring and I'm just going to freestyle it against a guy that knows how to box. That would be goofy to do because it's going to be a really, really super painful lesson, right? Getting into the boxing ring and trying to freestyle with a guy that knows how to box or a gal, let's say, that is going to be a painful lesson, one that I don't think anyone wants to learn. So why not learn the lesson? Why not have the painful lesson be the pain of your labors? Be the effort of the work that you're putting in so that you can go out and succeed. Guys, this was an ad-lib call. I hope that you enjoyed a few of the little mindset nuggets that I dropped. I did this to show you that even under adversity, even when there's a challenge, even when everything isn't going the way that you plan, you can still go out and have a great day. You can still make things happen. Despite the technical challenge, we still were able to have a free daily coaching call. I was still able to join with you this morning. The highlight of my day, every single day, to get up, to be able to start my morning with my wife and have our morning coffee and talk and plan out our day, and then come here and join with you. It was so close to not happening, but we made it happen this morning. We made our reality come true today. And the question I have to ask you is, what are you going to do today to create the reality that you desire? Are you going to go out and dig your holes? Or are you going to set the shovel down and go shopping for the day? It's your choice. It's your business. Thank you all for joining me. Again, I do apologize for the inconvenience this morning on the technical issues. I want to welcome anyone that joined us this morning for the very first time. Maybe it's your very first week, like Rhonda came out the other day, Chandra was over here the other day. Maybe this is your very first time, and if it is, we would like to say welcome to you. Reach out to those that you see in the chat. Reach out to myself, get plugged in, and like always, if you have questions, reach out. If you need assistance, you got to text, you got to email, you got to call the people that you're following. And if you're not following someone, goodness sakes, get behind someone that's running, that's doing what exactly you want to do, and go start doing what they're doing. Plug into them and do what they're doing, right? That's the answer, guys. So go out and dig your holes today. Go out and make things happen today for your business. And if you need anything, please, as always, let me know. Glad to help. Glad to see each and every one of you. We'll see you tomorrow for a super bonus edition, special edition of the Friday Fiesta, where we're going to have some award-winning marketers out here to join in the festivities and tell you about what they're doing in their business and how you can start to ramp up your business, ramp up your efforts, and really take charge of your business like these 3 award-winning marketers did. So, and maybe 4 and maybe even 5 coming over. So get ready for some fun tomorrow. We want to hear about your stories and what you did this week and the results that you're getting. So come by tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we'll see you at freedailycoaching.com.